All right, I see it on my end. Mayor, you can go ahead and get started.
Good morning, everybody. This is Mayor Woody Washam, and it's a pleasure to be with you for Connecting Cornelius. And yes, it is November the 1st, 2021. I can't believe that, but we're now in the month of Thanksgiving, headed toward Christmas. So anyway, it's been a fast year with so much going on in our town, and it's been a pleasure updating each of you as we move forward through this past year. It's been a busy year coming out of the many aspects of the COVID crisis and moving forward. But it's also one more thing. And early on in this conversation, I want to remind you, and you'll probably hear it from me again, it is Election Day Eve. That's a big day. It's a day of rest for our candidates, thankfully, but it's also very important that we rev it up here for Election Day 2021, which will occur tomorrow. And hopefully you all can cast your vote if you haven't done that already. Many of you have. We've had a fairly good turnout in Cornelius so far, but I know there's plenty of you that haven't voted yet. Please cast your vote for whichever candidate represents you the best. I want to thank our incumbent commissioners. I believe most of them, if not all of them, are online with us today. Commissioner Duke, Commissioner Bilodeau, Commissioner Sisson, Commissioner Miltick, and Commissioner Ross. So thank you all for your last 2 years of great service. And who knows, we may see you again in December. That would be fine with me. But anyhow, welcome everybody. As we have begun these events every time for the past couple of years at least, we've had a very special guest with us, and my thanks go out again to our Mecklenburg County Public Health Director, Gibby Harris. Gibby touches base with us on the COVID-19 pandemic that we've all lived through for the last couple of years. It's been an interesting journey for all of us, and Gibby has guided us and directed us. She's only got maybe one more of these Connecting Cornelius to endure with us prior to her retirement at the end of December. So Gibby, we're sorry to see you retire, but at the same time, we're glad you're with us today, and we will look forward at this time for your update. So Gibby, I'll turn the microphone over to you.
Good morning, Mayor, and thank you for having me on again this morning. I appreciate the fact that I've had the opportunity to talk with your community about COVID. Unfortunately, I'd love to talk to you about something else one of these days, but we'll see if that happens before I actually retire. Unfortunately, COVID is not gone. Our situation in Mecklenburg County is continuing to improve, and that's, I guess that's the message for the day. Our numbers continue to decline. They decline slowly, but they're all moving in the right direction. Right now, our positivity rate is hanging around 7 to 7.3%. The really good news for Cornelius is the last time we looked at your positivity rate, you're down at 5.2%. So good news for your community. But of course, your community is part of the larger Mecklenburg County community. So we need to stay vigilant as our numbers continue to come down. Our hospitalizations are down, our cases are down, our case count is down. All of those things are moving in the right direction, which is great news. Unfortunately, our first and second time vaccines have slowed significantly. We're about 57% fully vaccinated. If you look at just the 12-year-old and older who are actually eligible, we're at 68%. So that's not too bad. We'd like to see more. Unfortunately, our 12 to 17-year-olds are not as vaccinated as the rest of the population. So we've still got work to do there as well. And when I look at our Cornelius numbers in particular, but we're seeing this across the county, is over a 2-week period of time, close to 25% of all of our new cases are among children between the ages of 0 and 17. So our children are still being impacted by this virus. We know that most of them do not have the severe illness and hospitalizations and the number of deaths that we see in our older population. But here's the challenge, is we can't look at a child and tell whether that child's going to have a good outcome from having COVID or not. And so I think we've got to continue to stay focused on making sure that we're getting our children vaccinated if they're eligible, and wearing our masks to protect them until they are eligible. Speaking of that, we know that all 3 of our vaccines are now approved for boosters. That happened last week. Pfizer and Moderna are interchangeable. So if you got J&J, you can get Pfizer or Moderna. If you got Pfizer, you can get Moderna. So there's some flexibility there for individuals who would like a different vaccine for their booster. For those who had a J&J vaccine, it's recommended for anyone who's 18 and older, and it's been more than 2 months since their vaccination, that they get vaccinated again with a booster. So that's most people who receive the J&J now are eligible for boosters. For Pfizer and Moderna, it's for those individuals who were vaccinated at least over 6 months ago and have either over 65 and older, certain medical conditions between the ages of 18 and 64, or their occupation or their institutional setting puts them at risk. So there are a lot of folks that are eligible for boosters. And what we're seeing is that 59%, at least 59% of our vaccines that we're giving right now are boosters. So we're seeing a lot more people getting boosted than we are people stepping up to get that first vaccine. So we've got to continue to work on that. And the other big news, which is really sort of exciting, especially for parents of younger children, is we anticipate CDC approval early this week for Pfizer vaccine for 5 to 11-year-olds. It's already been approved for emergency use authorization. Sorry, that just wouldn't come out this morning. But that's been approved by the FDA, and now we're just waiting for CDC final approval. We are receiving the vaccine this week from the state once that approval occurs. And then we will be having a number of different events across the county this coming weekend for children ages 5 to 11, as well as those still who haven't been vaccinated, 12 to 17. So look on our website if you have children in those age groups to see where the closest place is for you to be vaccinated. Some of our vaccine partners have already started pre-booking appointments, assuming that the vaccine is coming. So you could look on those websites as well to see if that's an option. So again, the thing that's going to keep us moving out of this pandemic is vaccines. So we strongly encourage people to get vaccinated. And in the meantime, we need to be wearing our masks indoors to protect those who can't be vaccinated. So I will stop there, be happy to answer any questions that anyone has. But all in all, the news is pretty good right now.
Thank you, Gibby. Any updates? I know the county's considering some changes to their mask mandate policies. Any updates on that?
So Wednesday night, the board will consider a revision to the mask mandate policy. And basically what that will do is decrease the amount of time it takes for us once we get to that 5% positivity rate before we can come out of a mask mandate. So that will be heard by the board on Wednesday evening at their board meeting. And we'll anticipate that that'll go through.
Okay, great. Other questions for Gibby from commissioners or anybody else? Dr. Mike, if you're out there, you always have a question for Gibby.
Well, I had my hand up. You must not have seen me.
I didn't see it. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm fully vaccinated with the Pfizer, and I'm age 69. I see reports that J&J might be a good booster because it's a different technology, so you get two aspects throwing at your immune system. Have you seen similar reports, Gibby?
There are varying reports with all three of the vaccines about what would be better to do. If you got J&J, definitely go with one of the other two. But what we are seeing a little bit of, and there's a lot of this research has come from Israel, who is a handful of months ahead of us, is that going from the mRNA to the regular vaccine, the J&J, might give you an extra little boost that you might not get if you stuck with the other. So
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of doing.
Okay, great. Any other questions or
Oh,
input? Well, sounds like we're not through it quite yet, but we're on our way in a good trend. Any conversations about other variants out there, Gibby, that we should know about?
There are a few out there, but we're not seeing significant issues at this point in time. So we're kind of keeping our fingers crossed on that one. And Delta seems to be burning itself out a bit. I think for those folks who are vaccinated, even if they became infected, the symptoms were mild. And for those who weren't vaccinated, many of them have had the Delta infection at this point and have some antibodies based on having been infected. What I will remind people, if you've been infected recently, you need to go ahead and get vaccinated, because what that does is really significantly increase the amount of antibodies you've got on board and prevent you becoming ill again. So that's what we're hoping folks will do.
So if you've had COVID recently, how long should you wait to get vaccinated?
There's varying studies on that. Some folks say you ought to wait 90 days, but as soon as you have come out of the quarantine period and do not have any symptoms, you can be vaccinated. So you really don't have to wait.
Gotcha. Okay. Still a big push at the county level and state level to get vaccinated, and hope everybody has considered doing that, and we can avoid this pandemic and get past it. We're getting close. Once more, we're getting close.
Once more, we're getting close. That's exactly right.
So let's hope it sticks this time. Any other comments or questions, and we'll move along. Thank you, Gibby.
Thank you.
We may have something to appear on our chat box in just a few minutes. So if you can hang around a couple of minutes, that'd be great.
I'll keep a lookout.
Thank you very much. So next up, as all of you know, we always are going to talk about transportation, because we know, this board knows, that transportation and public safety are two of our citizens' highest ranked concerns in our community. And so we're going to give you a transportation update once more, which you will hear every time we gather this way. I'm looking forward to the day we can be live once more, but it's not quite yet. So I've asked Deputy Town Manager Wayne Heron, just back off a very nice vacation. Wayne, we're so glad you're back. And also others on town staff, possibly Tyler, to give us some updates on our transportation projects and so forth that are going on. I think we got some good news, don't we, Wayne?
Yes, sir. I do believe so. And I'm going to attempt to share my screen. And hopefully y'all are seeing my transportation project screen. And yes, thank you, Mayor. It is good to be back. Glad to be talking about transportation. It's always nice to visit other areas and compare our transportation to other areas. And I will say that I really think the Charlotte region is in a very good position. I do appreciate the meetings that our current commissioners have had with NCDOT board members to express our concerns and talk about our transportation needs. As we've heard, we're one of hundreds of other cities in the state with the same problem, but of course we know our situation. We believe that we're we believe we're special and we believe we're different. And one thing that I am proud of is that with all the work we have going on, and I continue to show this map because it's just so unique and different. We have 13 funded projects from NCDOT. That compared to our population is significant. I don't think you're going to find another jurisdiction that has that much money coming in from the state in the next 3 to 4 years per capita. I mean, not even something like Charlotte or Raleigh. So this is very significant. I think citizens, and it's so hard to explain this, but until you see it, it's hard to believe it. But this will change our capacity. This will change our network. It will change how we function over the next 3 to 5 years. So let me jump in and talk about the dates on the project specific. I want to talk a little bit about the Torrance Chapel, West Catawba, the triple roundabouts. The 2 roundabouts that you see on the screen here, one at the post office, one at Lake Norman Jeep Chrysler Dodge. The gist of this project is fixing the intersection at Torrance Chapel and West Catawba. And now, right now, once the roundabouts are done, we won't necessarily see the improvement right away because the left turns will still be there. But as time goes on, and we'll have a discussion about when the left turns will be reduced, that will improve the time with the green light on West Catawba. So that's something we'll be talking about and how we get that fixed and how we improve that. One of the phases of this project, of course, is the roundabout at Torrance and Knox, and the repaving and the reconfiguring of Knox Road coming in directly across from 1 Norman. As you know, the Chick-fil-A and the Aldi are paying for a portion of this. They're paying for what they're contributing and helping improve that. So this will be an improvement to that intersection. Right-of-way acquisition and utilities are expected to start, well, the right-of-way is already almost done. We expect utility underground to go in 2022, and then what needs to be moved above ground will also be happening in 2022. The construction date is a 2-year project from 23 to 24. Let me move to 21 in Catawba. This is a dual roundabout project on the other side of the interstate. And I want to emphasize these 2 projects on either side of the interstate will do a great deal to improve congestion and congestion management on the diverging diamond. You'll see 2 roundabouts on the north and south of Catawba on 21. This will help again with congestion. It will add stacking space and improve traffic on 21 in Catawba. It's currently in right-of-way. We expect utility relocations next year with construction in 2023. The Potts 115 roundabout. Again, right-of-way almost complete with this one. We expect utility relocations to start anytime and move through next year. It also has a construction date to start in 2023. This will be a great safety improvement. If you've ever been to the YMCA, this will just help you whether you're going to Davidson or Cornelius. In either direction will help improve safety, and it'll help keep traffic moving in that intersection. North Cross Drive extension. This is one you won't see while it's under construction for the most part because it's off the beaten path. But when complete, and it's a 2-year, 3-year project, 2023 to 2025, when it's complete, this will be a great north-south connector. It'll be an alternative to West Catawba. This will be one that will allow people to get down to Burtdale or come from Huntersville up to Cornelius and to the great park we have at Robbins Park, or up to the Greenway on either side of Westmoreland. So this will be a great alternative project. The Bailey Road extension. This is currently in design. We expect right-of-way and utilities in 2022 with construction in 2023. Now, this might be a little hard to see, but this is the sharp curve in Bailey Road. If you can see my pointer there, this will move the main road out to 21, make this safer, and hopefully reduce traffic where our Greenway crosses currently on Bailey Road, and also reduce traffic around Oakhurst and Cowboy in that area. the Hickory Street 115 intersection signal design. We just did receive some notice from DOT. The engineer has started the design work. We expect the design work to go through this year and next year with right-of-way and utilities beginning next year. Construction is slated to start in the fall of 2023 or federal fiscal year 24, but it is fall of 2023. So we're excited about that project, and it is moving forward. Now, the big one, and I think we have all good news on this one. I was reading the newspaper, and I think I look at it, and I'm a cup half full kind of guy. I look at the positives. The project did move up the construction date to the fall of 2024, but DOT also added a year to construction to 2027. Now, all this helps us in a couple of different ways. One, we're already in right-of-way. This is such a big project. DOT is acquiring right-of-way as we speak. As soon as the right-of-way is acquired, they'll begin the utility relocations. As soon as utility relocations are done, the money's approved. So the project could actually start sooner if the utilities are relocated. What helps us by making it a 3-year project now is when people bid on the project, if they feel like they don't have enough time to complete it, they raise the price. So by expanding the year, this helps us lower the price when we get the bids. The contractors always have incentives to finish early. And so we're excited. We think it's a positive that construction has been authorized earlier, and we believe contractors will try to finish earlier to get their bonuses and get their money. So we feel like this is a great word that we've got on West Catawba, and we're hoping to hear dates that might even move it up sooner. So we'll keep in contact with DOT and hope for the best and cross our fingers on this.
Hey, Wayne, could I get you to comment as well on the likelihood of this project being phased?
Well, I think it will certainly be phased. Now, that's something, and there's a couple of things that will go into that. They will discuss that with the contractor when it's bid, and they'll talk about what are the good points to phase it. Now, just common sense tells us that probably the Westmoreland to 73 is a good phase, and Westmoreland to coming up into Etchaton Road would be a good phase. We'll also work with developments in that area, talk about what they're scheduled to be built, and that will be a part of the phasing as well. So there certainly could be 2 to 4 phases, but those are things we'll work out with DOT and the contractor. But I think that will certainly happen. Certainly break that up for the safety and for the smoothness of the traffic for the traveling public. Again, you can't help but see it, but if we can ease the pain every little bit we can, certainly we're going to try to get DOT to do that. And they're very good to work with us on the phasing and get contractors. Probably will be a lot of night work. That will help. But certainly we'll try to phase a lot of what we do during the daytime.
Wouldn't you also think that the completion of the widening would time well with some of the projects that would be happening along West Catawba?
Most certainly. Most of the projects that we think are coming out of the ground on West Catawba, such as Alexander Farm, most of those are working through details on permitting that they might not even get started till 2023. When you talk about the phasing of the road with those projects, DOT is in constant contact, and what they do is they enter into contracts with these developments that talk about how much can be developed at what point and how that's phased. So every project will be phased along with the road project. All that, again, to try to make a safe, smooth transition as the road and projects come on over the next 4 or 5 years.
That's really good news. Thanks.
Let me jump to Highway 21 widening. Currently, this has dropped out of the STIP, but it is in the 2025 horizon year for CRTPO and MTP. So what that means is it has a high likelihood to move back into the STIP pretty quick as cash comes available. This is a fairly easy project because whenever 21 was planned, it has an extremely wide right-of-way. So there's very little right-of-way acquisition. So we feel like this project will move quickly as time progresses. Highway 73 down at Catawba, I showed this slide and I also showed the 73 improvements. There's very little in Cornelius, but As we all know, as citizens and drivers, we don't see city limit boundaries when we're driving on our roads. We just want to know that the roads we're using are having the proper improvements. 73 has 3 different segments that are proposed 2027 to 2029. We have heard that these might move up as well, but currently these are the state published dates for that project. We also know that I-77 shoulder hardening, 2023 to 2025. Mayor, I'll say in my travels, I just came from a place where shoulder hardening was used, and it does help. It does help immensely. So this is a very exciting project that we look forward to having shoulder hardening and use of the shoulder lanes on 77. Mayor, I'm going to turn it over to Tyler Beardsley, our assistant manager. And Tyler, if you'll just tell me when to move the slide.
All right, thanks, Wayne. So we got 2 local town funded projects that are ongoing now. First is the Jim Street extension. This goes right behind the Oak Street Mill. We'll connect over by Cornelius Elementary and then over behind the Oak Street Mill. We're out to bid on that now, and the bid opening is November 18th. Construction will start the beginning of next calendar year with the completion by the end of 2022. Looking forward to this. This will provide a good alternative from Catawba. And once this project's done, there will be a route from Highway 115 to 21 that is off Catawba. Right now, we're missing this little gap, so this will be a big help for that. It won't be a straight shot, but it'll be a circuitous route, but folks will be able to drive from those 2 major roads without getting on Catawba. Go ahead, Wayne. Next is Bailey 115 intersection. We had the mast arms installed last week. Unfortunately, it rained on Thursday night because they were going to take down the old mast arms and switch over to the new one. That's going to happen on Tuesday and Wednesday night of this week. And after that, we just have a couple weeks of work right at the intersection with some curb and gutter and some paving. And then after that will be the final lift of asphalt. So we expect this to be done probably before Thanksgiving, but definitely before the end of November. I believe that is it for my 2 projects.
Okay, any questions? Dr. Mike, you have anything? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was recently in communication with Senator Marcus about utility relocation timing. As you know, there can be a long delay for what appears to be simple work. So I just copied you and the mayor and Andrew a letter I got back from her. She's going to try and get NCDOT and work with utility companies to make sure that is done more expeditiously. I suggested some regulatory changes, but they felt it would be difficult to come up with wording that covered all contingencies appropriately. But we are working on that at the state level.
Yeah, that's a big stumbling block sometimes on some of these projects, as we all know and have lived through.
Yeah,
Projects
it took a year. It took a year to get the light up at Nance just because of AT&T.
Yes, it did. And, projects travel through several different phases. The first one being the beginning phase is the right-of-way acquisition. Second is the utility relocation. And third is the actual construction. So I hope all of you will note how many projects are underway in Cornelius right now. As Wayne said, with the right-of-way acquisition moving closer toward the utility relocation is good movement. It really is. And so I'm pretty optimistic that these things will get moved up actually on the schedule, as long as we can get this utility piece moving at the pace that it should move. So that's really good news to hear. So with that, I want to move into our main topic of today. I just can't tell you how excited I am about the Cain Center for the Arts. It is a project that is becoming reality for our town faster than you would know. And I think Justin's going to share some of those pictures with you in just a minute. But it is a project that is citizen driven in our community. It started with citizens voting for the bonds for contribution from the town level to downtown redevelopment. We are all about, several of our commissioners, I think probably I could say all of our commissioners are very supportive of our downtown redevelopment direction that we're headed in. Our downtown needed some help. It really did. Fortunately, citizens supported us with about a 70% vote for the redevelopment bonds, which is now flowing into create the Cain Center for the Arts. Cain Center for the Arts is a 501c3 organization. They're on their own. They now own the property to build the facility. They have now raised, well, the goal is 25 million. Justin will tell you how close we are to that goal in just a minute, but we're getting there. We're getting there. And this community has truly stepped up. And I cannot wait for this to be a reality for our community. So Justin Dion's our executive director. He's been with us about 4 years now, Justin. Is that about right?
Yeah, about 4.5 at this point.
4.5. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. So we're glad to have him here. He's done a fabulous job in a tough environment through COVID to keep the fundraising efforts moving in this community. And goodness, they have moved. This is a project that has been dreamed about by Cornelius citizens. It's been funded partially by the town of Cornelius and mostly by the citizens of Cornelius. And I'm very, very proud. So Justin, welcome. Glad to have you today.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Always a pleasure to be here with all you here and talk to the fine folks of Cornelius. First, want to just start off by thanking you, Mayor, for all your support for this project since before I was even here, of course, and before you were mayor. But your support has been great, and I also have to really take a moment to thank this particular town board as well. All the commissioners here have been so supportive since I've been here, and some commissioners who have changed and were supportive as well. So we've always enjoyed the wonderful support of the town and that partnership that we've talked about, that public-private partnership, the town commissioners and the town staff. We really appreciate all the work that everyone's put into this. It really has been a great example of a team effort. I
think every member of this board, including myself, are donors to the Cain Center too. I think we can say that, can't we, Justin?
That is, yes, sir. That is absolutely true. So we appreciate the support in more ways than one. That being said, we are really in an exciting time for this project. I'm happy to say that as the mayor alluded, I mean, all the things that we looked at folks and have been saying for the last 4.5 years and longer and been promising everyone is coming to light. And we're really proud of that. And our board has worked hard on that. The town here has worked hard on that, and the citizens of Cornelius, as well as the surrounding towns as well, have worked hard on that also. So I'm going to start real quick with talking about the Cornelius Arts Center. Everyone may recollect that we took over operations of the Cornelius Arts Center from the Cornelius Parks and Rec Department back in September, the beginning of September. And since then, we have really enjoyed a wonderful transition, a smooth transition. We have already had Fall A and Fall B classes. Fall B is wrapping up right now. Registrations were in the 90 to 100 percentile. So we had some classes that were sold out with waiting lists. We've enjoyed great opportunities with that. And actually, as we're entering into Fall B right now, I can say that we're still in registration for that, but there are only 2 classes that, as of Friday, had registration left. There was 1 spot left in our ceramic teens class, and there were just 6 spots left in painting for teens. But I can tell you that the rate things have been going by this morning, by the end of the day, they may be full. So if you're an adult looking for classes, I'm so sorry, we'll put you on a waiting list. If you have teens looking for classes, jump online right now to our website, cainarts.org, click on that programs tab, and you can see classes there and register for those few remaining spots. I can actually say, we're at a point with the Art Center right now in our classes that we've seen so far that we really would love more teachers. So if you or someone out there is an arts teacher, whether it be ceramics or visual arts, painting, that kind of thing, please reach out to us. Again, cainarts.org. You can find our contact info there, because we have waiting lists at this point that we would love to add more classes. And we just need some more teachers that have, willing to jump in and help us teach adults and youth in the community. So we've been having great success with that. Also, if you did not have a chance to see our pottery ceramics exhibit, Mud at the Mill, it's closing this week. So please come run over now. Great local ceramic artists in this exhibit. It opened in September. It's closing this week. We do have public hours. Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can come by. And if you want to come by after hours or anything like that, you can shoot us a note. And if we can have a staff member that's nearby, we're happy to come and open the doors for you. But please come enjoy this exhibit. Our next exhibit, I'm going to go ahead and share this, is opening up November 19th, Fibers and Frames. Wonderful multiple, you can see here, a disciplinary exhibit, the husband and wife team, the Ruse. Come and check that out. It'll open up the 19th. We won't do an opening reception for this one because of the timing of the way things are working out with the artists. We'll actually do a closing reception here on Friday, January 24th. It's always a free complimentary reception. So please mark that on your calendars, January 21st. Come for that closing reception. But before then, again, public hours, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Free to come drop by. Come say hi, come enjoy the art here in the exhibit. And if a class is going on, sometimes, you can always talk to one of us here, and we're happy to show you the center, happy to let you drop in really quickly and take a look at a class. If you haven't taken a class yet, you can kind of see what a class is like, and maybe you'd want to take a class. That being said as well, we've started a concert series here at the Mill. And coming up in December is blues musician Seth Walker. He's based out of Asheville, wonderful national and international acclaimed blues musician. You can see there at one point had a #2 on the Billboard blues album chart. So please come and see that. Tickets are on sale. You can buy those on our website, again, cainarts.org. Go to programs, click concerts. You can buy a ticket. Those tickets are $45 each. It is a very intimate concert that we have in the gallery. So it's a really neat experience. You sit there. We only sit about 70 people, and we put you in the gallery, and you're surrounded by the art, and you have a wonderful musician. And in this old mill, these are acoustic oriented shows. I can tell you the sound is really phenomenal for an acoustic show in the mill. The reverberation and the height of the ceilings, it all works well together. It's a great experience. We have a complimentary reception as well with food and beverage that's included in that ticket price. So it really is a wonderful experience. Mayor Washam, I believe you came to our first one back in September. Do you have anything you wanted to share about that one?
It surpassed my expectation. It really did. It was a fabulous event. An artist I really didn't know that well, but it was top notch. It really was. I certainly recommend it.
Yeah, and that was Tony Luca. He performed back in September, did a great job as well. And that was a sold out show. So again, we'd encourage you to buy tickets, things like these, and our class registration. Sorry, I'll back up for just a second. We're going to announce our winter class session, which begins in January, in about the next 2 weeks. And registration for that will begin at the end of November, 11/29 for Cornelius residents. And Cornelius residents do have the opportunity to register early before residents of other municipalities in the area. So I would recommend you to write that 11/29 date on your calendar to look at classes, because if things keep going the way we've seen them so far, our classes are filling up, and they're filling up reasonably quickly, both adult and youth classes. And again, I'll even say, like, my wife took her very first ceramics class here back in fall A session and absolutely loved it. We've got wonderful instructors here, a really long-standing program. As I mentioned, the park department did such a great job, stewarding this program and cultivating it. And we just got to kind of take that success and keep it going. So it's been going really well. We're going to be looking at opening up some new opportunities like weekend workshops for those maybe who don't want to commit to 6 weeks of a class. You could come in for a weekend class or a weekend workshop. We're working on ideas like that. And also we've got some new opportunities. We are always excited if you have interest in perhaps hosting a private event. We recently hosted some Girl Scouts who came into the ceramics center here and did a special private event for their Girl Scout troop. We could do birthday parties, things like that. please reach out to us. We love to have those kind of things here at the center. So that being said, that's everything we've got going on right now at the Cornelius Arts Center. Not a lot going on here, as you can tell, but we're excited with the direction things are headed. So now I'll go ahead and give everyone an update on construction. Here you can see these pictures actually are very recent. They're as of last week. If you haven't been to downtown Cornelius, I know you're all going to come down to downtown tomorrow to come vote. So while you're there voting, you'll definitely see our progress. I'm going to move through some of these quickly. Here you'll see, speaking of Deputy Town Manager Heron mentioned working at night. This was back in October. They did our first real big slab placement. They were pouring concrete here through this. That was at 4:30 a.m. in the morning. Our construction team knew, we just to let everyone know, we understand the importance of traffic and busy and flow around here. And so our construction team definitely took all that into account when they were thinking of when we do certain things that might impact traffic. So they specifically planned this big pour. I think there were around, I think they said something like 10 or 12 concrete trucks that came in that morning, starting at 4:30 a.m. so as not to disrupt traffic too much. And this is what it ended up pouring within that. This is the stage slab right here, where you can see the stage is right here. And this is orchestra level seating that it will be. Here's just some more pictures here of where we are. Just so you know, this is not the end of what this is. If you'll kind of remember from our renderings, this is specifically just the theater box itself. And then the rest, the classrooms and everything go around here. You can see here, this is the foundation, the outer foundation of the building. So the building will extend out all this way as well. This will be classrooms here and reception areas. This will be the lobby back here. Again, you can see the park, the big downtown park will form back here in that wonderful outdoor plaza there. Great progress in the month of October. Just always good to see kind of beginning of October to, end of October, the kind of work that was being done. As you can see here, we've only about 58% of the CMU block wall. So what you see right now is only 58% complete. It's still going to go up higher still there. This is just a nice little kind of drone video that they formed. You can just kind of see around. I'll move through a little bit quicker so everyone can see the progress. If anyone out there ever is interested in seeing the site itself, reach out to me. I'm happy to walk people over and show them a safe distance and show people a tour of the site and what's going on. Again, you can see where that park is going to be down here with the town green. It's going to be really nice to have, and the plaza will go out here. So lots of great progress and work. Again, the weather has been very helpful. When it has rained a lot lately, it's mostly rained and at night, which has been great. We haven't lost too many days to that. This is a fun video. I'm just going to let this one play all the way through. This is a full progress from beginning of October to now. While this is running, I'll just address, I know lots of people have questions. A lot of times when I talk to them, they say, are you concerned about, supply chain issues and things like that we hear a lot about? And the answer is, of course, we are definitely concerned about that. We always do our best to keep an eye on that. And again, I think it speaks to the strength of our team and the people involved. Both our volunteer board members who are helping to assist from the Cain Center side, our town partners, and then also, of course, our contractor, Edifice, as well as our architect. We really, the secret, and it's not a secret, is to really try to stay as far in front of things as possible. So we're always really trying to stay as far in front of things that need to be ordered. And there are a lot of things that have to be ordered early now because of that supply chain. It's kind of like, well, either you take it now or you don't, or we can't promise you when you're going to get it. So our contractor has worked really great at accepting materials early and storing them where they need to be stored so that we can avoid any of those kind of issues. I'm going to say right now that we are not at a point that I can give you an exact date yet for grand opening, but I will say that we are still on schedule for building to be complete around mid to late November 2022, and we are looking to do a grand opening still in December of 2022. Again, I don't know the exact date of that yet. We will be sure to announce that to folks as we kind of get all that settled in. As far as the campaign is concerned, to the mayor's point, $25 million campaign. As of today, we are just shy of $4 million left to raise. I can tell you that though there's some big possibilities of news coming down the pipeline, things we can't really speak about publicly that I can tell you would make it a lot less than that. So we really would encourage you, if you have not yet made a pledge, you can still join our giving circles. If you have not bought a brick, man, people are buying bricks all the time right now. It's wonderful. There is still a lot of bricks that we can sell, and you could put your name or a family member's name or a business name out there in that plaza. The bricks, by the way, if we are at the point where if you'd like to have your brick engraved and installed in time for the grand opening, we are going to announce that needs to be done by the end of February 2022. We'll continue selling bricks after that, but we cannot guarantee that it's installed by grand opening unless you order your brick by the end of February. So Mayor, am I missing anything in there?
I think you did a great job, and now you can see why we were at such a good point. With that kind of enthusiasm, how can we fail, right? that makes a huge difference.
Cautious optimism.
It is a lot of optimism going around, and I encourage you to ride by that building, and I think you'll be proud of the Cain Center and all the hard work that board has done. I'm also proud of your town for stepping up and providing such a fantastic amenity for our downtown that's doing great things in development. And we're headed toward the most beautiful downtown in the region. That's my dream. And I certainly have that vision. And I think my board members join me in that. So we're working hard to make that happen. It's a new day in Cornelius. Partly because of the Cain Center. So we appreciate your hard work, Justin, and we appreciate all the efforts of the Cain board, Greg Westland, chairman, and just a fantastic board that has worked hard. So I do want to acknowledge at least two of our commissioners that have really been behind the scenes helping me to make the connection with the town as we transition our programming to the Cain Center. It wasn't a cakewalk, and a lot of hard work going on behalf of Commissioner Jim Duke, and also by Commissioner Dennis Bilodeau. Dennis continues to serve with me on the board, and it's been a great effort. And I'd like to give you two gentlemen a chance to speak up and add any comments you'd like.
Well, I'll start there, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. It has been exciting, certainly having been involved since the early part study group before there was even a board for the Cain Center. And I know my fellow commissioners and I, as we stood by the town hall last week for several hours a day, we could see the hard work that the construction folks were putting in to get that building raised above the fence. That was so exciting to see it come out of the ground. But I did want to just take a minute and talk a little bit about the outside aspects of the center. Certainly Justin did a great job, and we were fortunate to steal Justin from Lee Street Theater. I know we went out there to take a look at their black box theater, and we found the best thing out there would to have Justin come our way. So we were so blessed and fortunate to have him leading the way with the Cain Center. But I'd like to just take a minute or two to talk a little bit about what happens with traffic and parking. And that's something that comes up that certainly will add to the experience, or could take away if we don't plan for it. And we have been looking at it and have been planning. So I know Chief Black's on the line, and the traffic aspect, I figure if Davidson with their center can take care of the college traffic after a performance, I know Chief Black will help us tremendously with his officers, whether they're off duty or help us plan for how to move traffic in and out and around the Cain Center. You heard earlier from both Wayne and Tyler that we're looking at traffic patterns, and we'll be fortunate enough to have another east-west avenue with the new Gem Street extension. So that'll be a tremendous help as far as moving flow in and out during performances and during the heavy periods of traffic. And then there's also that light there at Hickory Street, which was critical as well. So I think those improvements will be very well timed and up and running before we have the Cain Center up to speed. The other piece is parking, and that I get a lot of questions about where is everyone going to park? Well, it's important to know that we'll have 140 new parking spaces within walking distance of the Cain Center before the Cain Center opens. We've got some town property that will be converting to surface parking in front of Food Lion. There'll be at least 69 spaces to park there. Down by the library, there'll be another 27 spots. Gem Street will give us 19 spots to park. And Town Hall will be adding another 25 parking spots. So you'll be able to have your ticket, walk across or walk to the Cain Center and have ample parking during the performances. So all that to say that I'm very, very excited about the progress. As I said, fellow commissioners and I have been watching the building go up every day for several hours the past week. And we know those folks are working very hard throughout the week, and we'll get that delivered on time. So just very, very thankful to be involved, and it's really exciting for the town. Thanks.
Thank you, Dennis. Mr. Duke, you have anything to add?
Oh, of course. I always do, Mayor. Thanks for the opportunity. Pretty tough to follow Dennis Bilodeau. No more hardworking guy that you'll find anywhere in terms of that art center and working for the town. So all I can say is I've been with this thing since 2013. When we first got started, I begged Mayor Travis to put me on the committee, and he was gracious enough to let me do that. So we started with a plan. That plan has evolved year over year, and it's changed. The fundraising has been phenomenal. And I tell you what, a lot of credit goes to Justin for his work. Talk about an articulate guy. Talk about someone that can sell this wonderful idea to our community. So I'm on board. I love what's happening, and I'm looking forward to that grand opening real soon.
Thank you, Jim. Great comments. Thank you, Dennis, as well. So yeah, it's taken a village to get us where we are at this particular point in time with the Cain Center. And you know, I've helped quite a bit with some of the major fundraising, and Justin's right. Stand by. We hope for some good things to hit the press here, hopefully by the end of the year. It's really my dream to finish this fundraising by the end of the year, and we've got a lot of great folks working on that behalf. So hang on. Let's just make it happen. Anybody listening out there that could do anything to help us on our way, you know, I hope you'll do that. And also the brick campaign. What a great way to honor your loved ones or relatives that have been part of this community for many, many years. So I certainly bought a brick to honor my parents who helped me work my way through a music training and all that kind of stuff when there wasn't an art center there to help me along. So you know, it's a good way to honor those that have been the roots and foundation of this town for a long time. So step up and buy those bricks. And Justin, you have something.
Mayor, yeah, I'm sorry, Mayor, real quick. So while you're talking about bricks, I wanted to give you some quick stats.
Yes.
It's a little fun to see. So since last fall, when we announced our brick campaign, we have people around the community have bought over 691 bricks.
Wow.
So 691 people have bought bricks, totaling so far to over $300,000 in bricks bricks sold so far. So we're really good. I mean, we're to that point where when you combine our Founder Society donors, Giving Circle donors, and brick donors, we're over 1,000 community members who have given to this campaign thus far. So I think we can bring that number up even higher, but that's just lets people know, you know, you're not alone buying bricks right now.
Yeah, and it's you know, it's a good way to donate to the Cain Center, and it's really not that expensive to give a memorial or an honorarium to those you love and certainly that deserve that as well. So yeah, give us the price structure of that of those bricks and purchasing a brick.
Yes, sir. There's three. So there's three sizes of brick. There's a $250, there's a $500, and then there's a $1,000.
Exactly. Purpose of that is to let all levels of our community participate in the fundraising of this this wonderful amenity. So so you can do that by buying a brick. So with that, we're nearing our end time at 9:30 today. And great session, great update, Justin. We greatly appreciate that. Thanks, Gibby Harris, for being involved. And of course, town staff always does a good job in keeping us up to date. Any of our other commissioners or staff members have anything to add? Commissioner Sisson, you have anything to add?
My only ad, Mayor, is to ask all of our Cornelius residents who have not voted yet, and if you have, thank you for voting early. If you have not, please get out and vote tomorrow. You'll need to know where your precinct is. We have 4 precincts in the town of Cornelius. Make sure you vote at your precinct, and thank you all for voting and for being a part of this process.
Absolutely. Commissioner Ross, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, sir. You have anything to add other than voting?
That's it. Just make sure they go out and vote tomorrow.
Thank
That's
you.
it, man. Mhm.
Thank you, sir. And I'll certainly turn to staff now. Andrew Grant, are you there? I don't see
Yep,
you on my.
I'm here,
All right.
Mayor, and all I got to say is, well, we have a lot of great projects going on, everything from transportation to the Cain Center and the downtown revitalization. So, you know, a lot of credit to this board for working through all those complicated issues on behalf of our community. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Chief Black, how are we doing in your department?
We're doing well, coming right along. Things are busy this time of year. We just made it through, of course, Halloween last night. Just nice to see all the kids and parents out trick-or-treating, enjoying the evening. Some nice weather, but things are going well. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. And thanks to Chief Barbie as well, the fire department, for keeping us safe. Our public safety is high on our list, particularly of this board. And thank y'all for all your support and hard work at your level. Thank you so much. So again, I told you I was going to pound on everybody to go vote. You just heard it from Commissioner Sisson, and I will add to that. It's so important for all of our citizens to get out there and vote. There's really no excuse. Once you get close to your precincts, will be close to your home, please make it happen. It doesn't take long. It's only, if you live in Cornelius, the only thing you got on the ballot is the town mayor's race and also the commissioner race. So it really won't take you but about 3 to 4 minutes to go in, register, and actually vote. It's a quick transition and transaction, I should say. So please do that. I'll remind everyone that there will not be a town board meeting tonight. We'll be resting up for election day, and encourage your neighbors too. Don't just go vote yourself, but call 5 or 10 people and ask them to go out and vote as well. I'm really hoping for a great turnout. It's important that citizens speak on behalf of their town and elect the board that they wish to have, or the majority of our citizens wish to have. So please vote tomorrow. Thank you for this great Connecting Cornelius. We will be back in December for the December version, the last one for 2021, as we work toward closing out our year. It's been a great year. And after that, we'll be planning for great things to come from this kind of forum, and maybe even more this coming year. So thanks, go vote, and have a great Monday. And we'll see you around town, everybody. Thanks. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
I know.